So I guess this is just our thing now to do the intro whenever we start. Yeah, I don't really have anything prepared, but welcome to the Allied Rivals Dodgeball edition. What's up, everybody? Y'all already know we're back with another episode of the Allied Rivals podcast. It's been a little bit longer than we wanted, but we're still here. We're still having fun, and we are ready to get right back into it. My name is AJ Hurt. Oh, wow, I'm off my game today. My name is AJ Herschel, also known as The Kid, and y'all already know we're here with my good friend, Kademan Bauer. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
Not bad. I just had my first fantasy draft of the year last night on Roto Hackers podcast. I think I got a good team, or at least a really solid starting lineup. I'm excited because I get you week one, so that'll be interesting.
I think you're supposed to win by
so far, yeah,
a lot, but
yeah,
we don't know what could happen yet.
Anything, yeah. I mean, we still got like 3 more weeks.
Yeah,
we still got time, but it'll be fun. Anything new with you over the past week since we've last spoken?
I mean, I just finished my first week of school, so
congratulations.
Tiring, but fun. Yeah.
Nice, very
Anything
nice.
With you?
Not that much. Just really podcasting, following the sports. I start school on Tuesday, so I'm preparing for that pretty much, and that's pretty much it for me.
Nice.
Yep. Well, we have a fun episode planned for today, but before we do, as always, we always got to get to the news first. And also, first and foremost, Cayman, the fans want to know, where's our theme song? How's it working? How's the theme song coming along?
I may have forgotten about it, just maybe.
Oh, no. Just maybe.
So maybe I'll get to that today.
Right. Okay. Maybe you'll remember it. Maybe you might have forgotten it, so you might remember it.
Yeah. But Look forward to it when it comes.
All right, cool. Trust me, we've gotten comments for it, man. We're waiting.
All right.
Let's get right into the news. We're going to start off with the NFL. First of all, the Bears signed Cairo Santos to come to compete with Eddie Pinheiro because we still have kicking problems, I guess. I don't know. And also, the big news just happened today officially. Earl Thomas is released by the Baltimore Ravens. ET3 is out. People are saying he'll probably go to Dallas if he goes to another team before the season starts. This is kind of big news for the Ravens defense. Cademan, let me ask you this. If Earl Thomas goes to Dallas, how do you think that helps their defense? And how do you think it affects Baltimore now that he's gone?
Well, I'll start off with Baltimore. I don't think it's going to affect them too much. They obviously weren't worried much when they got rid of him. As far as with Dallas, I'd say he could be pretty useful. I don't know if they totally need him, but yeah, I mean, why not? Why not take him? He's a Pro Bowl safety. He's great in the backfield. He has great vision. He's been – the only thing is I'd say he's used to having been with another safety or another cornerback that is really good, like another Pro Bowler. And so when he goes to Dallas and if he goes to Dallas and if he takes all that responsibility, is he going to have the same effect on the team as he did on the Ravens, since he won't have that super elite safety or corner, or will it be even better for him because he'll be taking it all by himself basically?
I think for Baltimore, I don't know how much this makes it'll definitely make their defensive back lineup worse, obviously, because you just lost, like you said, perennial Pro Bowler, one of the best in the league constantly. But Baltimore's defense is so good already, they should be able to make up for it. Meanwhile, with Dallas, if he does go to Dallas, which, we've heard rumors about this starting from before he went to Baltimore. Dallas kind of, I don't know if they don't even really need him. They already have Xavier Woods at safety, but I feel like they could shift him over to cornerback, shift Xavier Woods over to cornerback, slot in ET3 at safety. You already have Clinton Dix. That's a pretty solid defensive back lineup, in my opinion. And this is a defensive line that needs help now that Gerald McCoy is out. They've got some really good older players. Ontari Poe, they Anderson Griffin now. This is a defense that's steadily improving with like a balance of veterans and younger players led by Leighton Vander Esch. But I think it's definitely an improvement for Baltimore if they got Earl Thomas III. I would love to see him over in Dallas. Next up, let's go ahead and move on to the NHL. First of all, and probably the biggest news, the Washington Capitals, after exiting early after a fantastic season, lost the series 4-1 to the 6th seed New York Islanders and officially released their coach Todd Reardon after 2 seasons. Very, very interesting stuff happening over there. Also, the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs has already started. Dallas Stars are up a game on the Colorado Avalanche. Fortunately, the Boston Bruins will be going against the Tampa Bay Lightning today, as well as the Vegas Golden Knights and the please win Vancouver Canucks. They'll be facing off in game 1 today, as well as the Philadelphia Flyers against the New York Islanders. In other news, going to the NBA, the playoffs continue, and the first team to make it through, we didn't predict this for a sweep. We knew they'd be hurting without Ben Simmons, but as of today, the 76ers have been swept handily by the Boston Celtics. Cademan, first reactions to this?
Well, I'd say it's a good job taking advantage that Ben Simmons is injured.
Yep.
First of all. Also, I'd say Jason Tatum did great. Gordon Hayward was not playing.
Up there. Yeah.
You know what I was thinking for a second? I was about to say but then I was like, wait, he's injured. Yeah, so even without Gordon Hayward, they still did really well on offense and defense. Kemba Walker, he did great. I mean, their whole team was just passing, distributing the ball really well, making it really hard for the 76ers defense to do anything. So, yeah, I'd say that's pretty much the only reactions I had when I saw them being swept. I mean, if they had Ben Simmons, I still would have said that the 76ers were going to lose, but not in 4 games.
Yeah. I think that the biggest thing for Philadelphia is they're going to have to go in again and look at that roster. Ben Simmons and Embiid need help. They're good together, but the supporting roster, while it's good, it isn't good enough to compete with the rest of the teams that are steadily rising in the NBA. I was watching the game earlier. Man, the Celtics just manhandled the 76ers in the second half. And I know that you guys could say, yes, Tobias Harris went out. Glad he's okay. We know he went out, especially in the fourth quarter when the game was winding down. But Boston was already on a 12-0 run when the third quarter ended. Boston had the game. Kemba Walker came alive in the final game. And even though Al Horford finally stepped up, their defense wasn't enough. And garbage time points, they happened, sure. But the final score does not tell the whole story. The Celtics really owned the second half of that game. Other places around the NBA, the Toronto Raptors looking to also sweep the Brooklyn Nets. As we predicted, they're kind of having an easy way there. The Miami Heat also looking to sweep the Indiana Pacers. Jimmy Butler making it look easy with his supporting cast, Bam Adebayo and others. Milwaukee Bucks have come back with a vengeance. They're now up 2-1 as the Orlando Magic coming back down to the ground. No Aaron Gordon, no Jonathan Isaac. Not only are the injuries starting to catch up to them, the fact that they're playing the Milwaukee Bucks is also starting to catch up to them. Cademan, how does that make you feel?
Hey, you know what? I feel great about the Bucks. I think they just had one bad game, and I think they came off of it really well. I think as for if they do play the Miami Heat, I think that series will definitely be so much harder for them. And I think it'll be for, of course, both teams. I think even though Pacers got the better seed, I think I still easily predicted that the Heat should take it away.
The Heat are definitely the better team between the two of them, without a doubt. Also, another number 1 seed that struggled in the first game to game time, the Los Angeles Lakers hung on to win Game 3 over the Portland Trailblazers. They are now up 2-1. This was one of the main people. Some people were predicting maybe this could be an upset team, Portland, but LA and LeBron James finished over with 38 points in his last game. He's showing everybody why he is the best of my generation. man, it's really. I think that Portland's going to be outclassed down the road. Also, Oklahoma City scratches by being able to take a game off of the Russell Westbrook-less Houston Rockets, but Houston still is up 2-1. The Utah Jazz, I think we really underestimated them. They're up 2-1 on Nikola Jokic, Denver Nuggets, and currently the Los Angeles Clippers are playing the Dallas Mavericks in Game 4. The series is currently 2-1 in the favor of the Clippers, and right now the Mavericks are up by 2 with 1 minute and 39 seconds left to play. We'll keep you updated on what is happening there if you're not already watching. This game's going to come down to the wire between Mavericks have a chance or LA is just done for. What do you think, Cademan? I know that Western Conference isn't your forte, but Luka Doncic, despite the fact he was questionable, is playing out of his mind.
Yeah, I mean, I would personally love to see the Mavericks beat the Clippers because then all the Western stuff you predicted is pretty much completely wrong. And then the Bucks could have, like, I think the Bucks would have a much easier time if they get there, or even the Raptors, if they got there, would have a much easier time playing the Mavericks than or maybe even the Lakers than the Clippers, just because the Clippers have such a deep roster and there are so many guys that don't just have one element of the game, like on the bench, but they can do everything. So if Luka Doncic can take care of them now, that's really good. And I'd be very happy.
Yeah, still got a couple games left to play in the series either way, but LA, the Clippers, really looking to clinch it out. Paul George has been having a rough time in the series. He's currently sitting at 7 points in this game. He's really struggling. Moving on, let's get to baseball. Baseball news right now. Chris Bryant has finally been placed on the injured list. He was hitting sub 200, but he had been dealing with a wrist injury the entire year. He is now placed on the injured list, and the Cubs subsequently have not been doing as well. They're currently 4-6 in their last 10, but they still lead the division, 3 games over St. Louis, 5 over Milwaukee, who is also 4-6 in their last 10. The Atlanta Braves staying on top, trying to hang in there above the Miami Marlins. They're 2.5 games up. The Dodgers are showing everybody why they're the Los Angeles Dodgers. They've increased their lead now to 4 games over the San Diego Padres. As the Colorado Rockies are slowly coming back down to earth as they are sub 500 once again this year. The Oakland A's continue to take number 1 spot in the AL West over the Houston Astros. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Indians are hanging in there behind the Minnesota Twins. They're only a game and a half behind. Chicago White Sox finally starting to come together. They're 7-3 in their last 10, following just 2 games behind Minnesota. And the Tampa Bay Rays are sitting 1 game ahead of the New York Yankees currently, despite the fact that they've played like 5 more games than the Yankees have. But they're sitting at number 1 in the AL East. Anything you want to talk about there, Cayman? Anything that sticks out to you?
I just think, honestly, it's interesting how the Rays are just sitting above the Yankees right now. I mean, of course, the Yankees could take it back. They're not too far behind. But the Rays have been doing really well on both offense and defense. And it's really impressive to watch them really. I mean, everyone is thinking before the season started, man, the Yankees should be like above the Rays, like even if it's just by a little, but the Rays have taken it and they're really showing determination. And so I think that's really cool. I don't know if it'll last, just kind of like the Rockies slowly going down. But it's cool. And I think that that's a great job by the management and the determination of the players.
Absolutely. I do think that, especially with the Tampa Bay Rays, they're scoring a lot of runs. They're not letting up an excessive amount of runs. With the Yankees, they have played 4 less games than the Rays, to their credit, so they could easily take the division crown back at the beginning of the year. But the race between who's going to get the 1 seed in the AL East is going to be incredibly tight. Also leading the MLB currently, we have DJ LeMahieu still hitting plus 400. Fernando Tatis Jr. leads the leagues in home runs, RBIs, and runs currently in the season. And the final bit of news, Toronto Raptors head coach Nick Nurse, without Kawhi Leonard, has won NBA Coach of the Year, taking 90 out of the 100 votes. Cademan, I think that's the most obvious pick for NBA Coach of the Year. How about you?
I think so too, and I don't think there's anything else to say about it. I think he's done a really good job coaching this team.
Absolutely. It's crazy. The team that went to the finals and beat the Golden State Warriors under a new coach And without Kawhi Leonard, is now one of the best defensive teams in the league, still the number 2 seed in the East. It's incredible. Nick Nurse easily deserves that award. And that is pretty much all of the news around the sports world as of today. Caden, we have a comment from our man, Lightning Bauer, back again. He says, "Hey guys, great show." Well, thank you. What retired NFL player would you want to be brought back this season, I believe, to enjoy watching them play again? That's an interesting one. Cademan, what do you think? What NFL player do you want to see back in the NFL?
I have to think about that, but I think pretty confidently I could say Marshawn Lynch. I really liked watching him just bulldozer through every defender, even if it was the Packers. He was playing the Packers. It was still really fun to watch. So definitely him. How about you?
Yeah, for me, it would probably be if he was healthy, I'd love to see Andrew Luck still in the NFL. And oh my god, because he's such a leader, he's such a great player. I would not be surprised if he's the head coach of the Colts in like 4 years. Also, I'd also like to see Cam Chancellor back. I'd really like to see guys back whose careers were cut short by injury, and I think that's the worst part. I mean, Gronk's back, so I mean anyone can come back, and realistically, but those are probably the 2 main guys that I'd like to see back. Martellus Bennett. For a guy who hasn't been injury prone in his career, I'd like to see him back as well. But the 2 guys, it's really the guys whose careers are cut short by injury that I'd like to see brought back to the NFL if they were healthy, of course. If not, I don't get that. And now, of course, we move into our main topic of the video, which is really interesting. If you read the title, it says Allied Rivals Podcast Dodgeball Edition. Cademan, how about you explain to them what we're doing here?
Okay, sure. So this isn't like we're not like, I don't know. This is just for fun, you know?
Yeah.
And we're not saying this is happening. Like, this isn't actually happening. We're not doing what we're about to talk about. Don't want to give it away. But this is just for fun. It's a what-if situation.
So what are the rules? What are the rules to pick? How many players are allowed on a team? Where can they be?
So, me and AJ will both have a team with 3 other guys, one from the MLB, one from the NFL, and one from the NBA. And so it's a 4-guy team, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So how about you start us off? Who is your one? So of course ourselves are on the team, right?
Yeah.
You and I are on the team, of course. So then after that, who's your first guy? Who's your first guy on your lineup?
Okay, so NBA, I'm going with Kawhi Leonard.
Nice.
He has great hands. He has great vision on the court. He's strong, so he'll be able to throw the ball hard. He's really athletic, so he'll be able to dodge the balls well. He can get around the court well. He'll be able to pick up the balls easily, whereas like a crazy big man wouldn't be able to do fast enough. He's going to be probably able to jump over balls that are thrown low. I'd say for a big man, he has incredible quickness of feet. And so if this was 5 years ago, I may have gone with LeBron.
Interesting.
But he's getting older. He's getting slower. And Kawhi Leonard has kind of taken the mantle with some of his characteristics, like big man with speed, agility, moving around the court well, and his court vision especially. So NBA player, I go with Kawhi Leonard.
Very nice. Also, really quick, I want to give you a quick update. The LA Clippers have currently tied the Dallas Mavericks. It is 121 all at the end of the 4th quarter. We'll be going to overtime in this one. We probably won't be able to get to talk about it at the end of the video. It might be still going, but the Clippers are able to come back from a decent sized deficit, and they've tied it up. Next up, how about your baseball player here?
All right. For the MLB, I picked Javier Baez. Obviously,
nice. Hard to dispute that.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously got some of the best fielding in the league. He has great hands, and every team needs someone who can catch pretty much everything. On the baseball diamond, he shows aggressive fearlessness, and that is also great for dodgeball. He's not going to be afraid to throw it or catch a ball thrown at him. He's quick, he's smart, so he's going to be strategic about the game. And he seems like a really fun and likable guy. And who wouldn't want a guy like that on your dodgeball team?
Yeah, of course. And we also got Lightning Bauer over here giving us his own dodgeball team. He's got his NBA player is Kyrie Irving. Interesting. Kind of flying under the radar right now in the NBA, due to the fact that he's not playing on the Brooklyn Nets right now, but still great skill, great hands, great distributor, and he's a good point scorer. It's not a bad pick right there. How about you finish us off with your NFL player?
All right, so some of you might, if you watch this, you might be predicting this, but I'm going with Lamar Jackson for this.
Yeah.
So obviously he has a great arm. He'll be incredibly hard to hit. He's ridiculous because he's ridiculously fast, and he's one of the most elusive players in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He's a team leader. And I mean, he has a lot of characteristics that I named in those other guys, such as aggressiveness, game strategy, and he can hurdle like crazy. He'll be so hard to hit, and he has the great arm. What more can you ask?
Yep. So with this, your team name is the Hard Targets. You got Kawhi, Javi, and Lamar. How do they work together as a team? How are you getting them to become unified as a unit?
Yeah, so we got Lamar. He's kind of like the team leader. We got Javi, who's kind of catching everything, and Kawhi. He's kind of in the middle, I'd say. So he is a team leader typically on his team, but he can also do a lot of things that Javier Baez can do. Mm-hmm. So I think each of these guys, what I'm seeing in a great dodgeball player is elusiveness, speed, the ability to throw, the ability to catch, and I don't know, court vision maybe. That'd probably be another thing.
Okay,
so
all right.
Guys have each one of those things.
Very nice. That's a well-rounded team. There. Also over here we got Lightning Bauer. His MLB player is Orlando Arcia. How you feel about that one, Cademan? He's
like it. Hey, I mean, he kind of plays like Javi Baez, where he's one of the best up there in the best fielders of the league. He can catch pretty much everything. He can throw crazy. So I like that pick. Pick.
What's it called? So for my team, first of all, I know I went with the guy you didn't, and that's LeBron James. I went with him, and there's a reason why. This isn't just about his play style. First of all, he's a great passer. He's strong. He's a distributor. He's a team leader. This guy is going to be the centerpiece of my dodgeball team because he's the leader who gets everyone hyped up. And he's in win now mode in the NBA right now. I want that mentality on my team. And the only person who has that mentality and who has the best mentality of win now in the NBA right now is LeBron James. There were a couple other people I considered. I also considered Kemba Walker because of his passing ability. He's quick. He's a good shooter. He's also he's a guy I really wanted to put on my team, but I went with LeBron for the leadership role. For baseball, I went back and forth on this. I started with Aroldis Chapman for the strength, but Caben, you pointed out to me, he's a big dude, so I didn't end up going with him. I thought about Jason Hayward for the big arm, strength, great catching ability, multiple Gold Glove winner, but he's getting a little bit up there in years. So I went also with another shortstop who's pretty much just as athletic and arguably faster, Francisco Lindor of the Cleveland Indians. Great throwing ability, great agility, basically the fastest player in the MLB right now. He's basically Tyreek Hill. I think that he's going to be almost impossible to hit. He's going to be catching everything you guys throw at him. I'm pretty happy with Francisco on my team. And then finally, I cannot tell you how many times I went back and forth on this pick. I started thinking about what's the guy's name? DeAndre Hopkins, first of all. The Arizona Cardinals. Great hands, great agility, but then I got that in Francisco Lindor. And I was like, well, do I really want two agility guys on my team? I thought about a guy who's basically all-around player and who our man Lightning Bauer went with. He went with Julian Edelman. I considered getting him on my team. He's a good he's an all-around player. He's a quarterback. He can throw. He can run. He's got decent speed. But I ended up going with, I realized my team's got a distributor in LeBron. You've got the agile player in Francisco Lindor. And to finish out my fantastic four, I put Patrick Mahomes the second. He's fast. He's got a good speed burst. He's got the arm for sure. I needed someone who could make the tight window throws. I went with Patrick Mahomes, and he's a younger guy. He's a team leader. And I feel like this team working together would go really well. LeBron's the leader. He's the distributor. Francisco, nobody's going to be able to hit him. Patrick Mahomes is going to be mowing down everyone. Everyone's got a defined role. We've got a defined leader. These are guys who are selfless as well for the most part. I mean, LeBron, you could debate, but he's the designated leader here. So I think everyone's going to know their role. I think my team's going to have good chemistry. I'm excited. I like my team a lot. Lightning Bauer, one more time. Let's review his team. Kyrie Irving, Orlando Arcia, Julian Edelman, and his team name, the Super Good Guys. Super Good Guys.
Nice.
I don't know. So, Caden, make a defense. Why would your team of Kawhi, Javi, and Lamar Jackson beat out the Super Good Guys and the Fantastic Four?
Lightning Bauer's team, right?
Yeah, both of them. Why would your team be superior over our teams?
Well, first of all, I'd say Kawhi over Kyrie Irving, just because I think Kawhi is probably more elusive. I think Kyrie Irving, I think, is just kind of slightly declining maybe. He might not be as strong as he once was. He might not be as fast as he once was. I mean, he's still amazing at basketball, but I don't think, as far as dodgeball would go, I don't think he'd be quite as good as Kawhi. As far as Orlando Arcia versus Javi Baez, I'd say they're probably pretty well matched, along with your pick, Francisco Lindor. I mean, I think all those elite shortstops and second basemen should be just kind of – they're just kind of all there, you know? And they're all – a lot of them are all just so good, so it's hard to make a defense why one is better than the other. As for my NFL pick, so I was thinking Christian McCaffrey at first, but the guy's kind of big, and he's ridiculously fast, but he may not be able to. I don't know. I just felt like Lamar
was 5'11", Christian McCaffrey 204 is big.
He's a really big guy. He's huge muscle. He's a buff guy, and.
Okay.
I think that Lamar, and the one other aspect Lamar was better than Christian McCaffrey in was throwing. So I think you add everything Christian McCaffrey has, and Lamar Jackson has it, but he also has the arm. And so Julian Edelman, yeah, he played quarterback in college, in high school, and he has the arm, obviously. But is it as good as Lamar Jackson? Will he be able to juke like Lamar Jackson? Will he be able to dodge the passes like Lamar Jackson? I don't think so. So that's why I went with Lamar over Julian Edelman.
All right. What about Patrick Mahomes, though? What about Patrick Mahomes, though? What do you think about that?
For your team?
Yeah, Lamar v. Mahomes.
So with Mahomes, I think he can't. He can't. He's not the same type of player as Lamar. So he doesn't run as much. He may have a better arm. Actually, he probably does have a better arm. But if you can't move fast enough to dodge Javi Baez's throws, why does it matter how fast your arm goes if you can't dodge it, if you can't pick up a ball fast enough? And so I think that was the problem with Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, he has maybe the best arm in the NFL right now, but he's going to be too slow. He has the court vision, but I think the thing with how fast he is, how elusive he'll be compared to Lamar Jackson, it just looked kind of lopsided. So I definitely went with Lamar.
Okay, that's a fair. I feel like that's a fair assessment. For me, with my Fantastic Four, here's the thing. I've got my formation all filled out. It's I've got my line. I know where everyone's going to be on the field. So I've got LeBron. He's going to be playing mid. Mid. So we've got him in the middle. And Kawhi Leonard, yes, he's a great player. He's a great singular player. My debate about him will come later. Same with Kyrie. They're both great individual players. LeBron, in my opinion, is easily a better passer than Kyrie, being that LeBron is the best passer, arguably, of all time. He's got some of the most assists we've ever seen in the NBA, more than anyone else in the NBA to date. Other than that, Francisco Lindor, yeah, I agree with you. Lindor, Baez, Arcia, they're all going to be going at it. Lindor is going to be on my front line. He's going to have the hands. He's going to have the quickness. You won't be able to hit him. And then finally, Patrick Mahomes. I put him over Julian Edelman as well. Edelman's got probably more agility and better hands, but at the same time, Mahomes has got such a better arm, and he's going to be more of a cannon. And I mean, Irving, Arcia, Edelman, there's not a lot of arm strength there. I mean, Arcia is, of course, accurate, but he's not the guy who makes huge throws or big, powerful, quick throws that you'd be able to dodge. Kyrie's more of a distributor and a shooter. And Edelman, he's a good passer, but you don't exactly see him throwing bullet passes every 5 minutes. When it comes to Lamar Jackson, this one's tough because I think they're comparable in different things. Lamar's going to have the speed edge over Mahomes, but Mahomes is going to be playing on my back line. So he's not going to need to be the quickest. He's got the bigger, stronger, and more accurate arm than Lamar Jackson. And since he's going to be playing in the back, he's not going to be needing to dodge. Lindor in the front, I'll have LeBron James distributing in the middle, strong arm if we need him to. And then I'll have Patrick Mahomes sitting in the back, just absolutely sniping anybody who shows up. And that's why I think my Fantastic Four would beat the super good guys and the hard targets, being that you've admitted yourself your team is a target. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I think that's it for me. I think that's my argument. That's my argument for my team.
Okay, so let me ask you something. So
yeah,
with LeBron, he's the distributor of the team. So where does that come into play with Dodgeball?
Oh, you're going to need someone who's going to – okay, so the distributor is the guy who's giving balls to the people who can throw the best. You're always going to need that person because you can't have your backs turned all the time trying to get the balls once they get past you. Lindor is either going to be catching them and throwing them back, or they'll just miss him. Mahomes is going to be sitting in the back. Anyone that goes to the mid, LeBron is going to be, okay, who needs the balls? Lindor have one, or is he dodging something? Does Mahomes need one? All right, Mahomes is empty. We'll give him one. Grab one for himself. He's big. He'll be able to block, I think, because he's got enough agility to hang in there. I think that's why he's my distributor. And also just the team leader, I think. I think easily. He's going to have the morale boost for my team, especially.
So I think the problem with LeBron is what I'm seeing is you're having him distribute these balls to all these other guys. He's picking them up. He's probably not going to be able to do it as fast as someone like Francisco Lindor because he's getting older. He's like 35 something. And so I'm thinking, man, if he's picking up all these balls and throwing them, he's going to be an easy target. So he's going out right away. And then you have your team leader sitting on the sidelines as like your head coach and less of the team captain. So
well, keep in mind, rules of dodgeball, someone catches the ball, they get back in. That's where Lindor's sticky hands come in. He moves back, he waits for the opportunity, he grabs one, LeBron's right back in the game. Plus, I think my team would work well as the unit. They all know how to work well on the team. Mahomes himself, he's obviously the leader of his team, but he's not like a one-man show. LeBron, obviously, he's the star of his team, but he's also a distributor, so I've got him as the head. And Francisco Lindor, I mean, he's been playing on the Indians for a while, and that's a team that honestly has always worked better together as a unit, and that's kind of just how baseball works in general. So I think when it comes down to a team game, my team is probably going to be the most unified. And then, I mean, the last player, you and me, I think I could beat you in dodgeball. That's the last. I don't know about our guy Lightning Bauer over here, but
hey, I mean, at Clapham School, man, we used to play dodgeball and blitzball like every lunch, every break, every recess time for 9 years. So I think I got left around.
I got the speed, I got the arm, I got the wingspan advantage. I'm just saying.
But you're also so much bigger than me. You'll be such an easy target.
Yeah, but I'm also more accurate, which you've admitted yourself. Then
you may be. But okay, here's my last question for you.
Yep.
You have Mahomes.
Yeah.
Who is probably the fastest thrower in the NFL? Is that right?
Oh yeah, he's got the best arm in the league. Yeah.
Okay. So is that like I don't know? Is he going to be able to? Is that going to take him a long time to warm up like that? Like, let's say this is a series and not just one game.
Okay.
Have to like warm up one game and then he just lost it. Well, also I'm thinking, you know what? Is he going to be able to pick up the balls fast enough Is he
absolutely.
while
Absolutely.
he's running? And I don't think so.
Dude, have you seen the guy evading people in the pocket? He is, with the exception of Lamar Jackson, the most mobile person in the pocket. You can make an argument for Russell Wilson, but he's gotten more comfortable throwing in the pocket. Mahomes, out of quarterbacks, only behind Lamar, has got the speed to be able to evade tacklers. I think that also comes into play with dodgeballs.
I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. I just think he'd be kind of an easy target since he is he's not a Tariq Cohen, and I think he's going to be a much easier target since he's a lot bigger than Lamar Jackson personally.
Okay, I mean you can say that, but Lamar's got to hit him first. He's got to be accurate enough to actually get the ball down there. I don't know. It'd be a close match. Let's at least. It would be very close. Oh no, I think. Real quick, I'll just go ahead. Oh, here he is.
Hi, I just had a technical issue with something. Okay. I don't know what happened, but I'm back, guys.
Nice. I got worried for a second. Your computer had died in the middle. I got worried for a minute there.
It is low, but it's fine. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, to save your computer, and also I think we've pretty much exhausted our topic as much as people want to hear us. Nick, excuse me. Now, every time we come on the show, we do a couple of things. First of all, you've got yet another Dwayne Wade card for us.
Another one.
What's the story behind this one?
I found this one really cheap. I'm not going to say how cheap I found this one at a sports trading shop. But again, like the last one, you have Tim Duncan. And I think that's almost like a classic matchup where you have Dwayne Wade just going up, and either he gets stuffed by Tim Duncan or Tim Duncan falls down really hard and is out for a little while. And I think this one was one of them where Tim Duncan fell down and he went out for a little while. So go Dwayne Wade, man.
Yeah, Dwayne was a great player. He's a great player. I can't believe you still got so many of those. Oh man, the list is just gonna have to keep going of how many you've got, man. We don't know where it ends. What are we at? Like 5 now? 4 or 5?
Something like that, yeah.
4 or 5. Goodness. Okay. And for me, I always pull something out of the back. I already got mine prepared. This is Peter Parker from Spider-Man PS4, Marvel Spider-Man 2018. This is one of my favorite Spider-Man versions of all time. Is it 90% because of his white suit? Yes, because the white spider is absolutely awesome. My brother got me this for Christmas, and I love it. Sorry, what'd you say?
No, it's very cool. I love it too.
Thanks. So yeah, I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and loved the suit, and I love the Funko Pop. And ladies and gentlemen, that's just about going to wrap us up. And every time we like to finish with a Bible verse. Cademan, what's our verse of the week again?
Verse of the week, I'll just read it again. 2 Corinthians 4:6. For God, who said, "Let light shine out of darkness," has shone in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is just about going to wrap us up. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Roto Hackers podcast. It's been a minute, so there was a lot of news at the beginning, especially around the sports world, but thank you guys for hanging with us. Lightning Bauer, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining our show. Thanks for the viewership. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Please make sure you comment. Let us know what kind of topics you want us to cover in the future. We've got a couple in the works, a couple suggestions that have been made to us that we're going to put into practice. Also, be aware the Dallas Mavericks did beat the Los Angeles Clippers in overtime, 135-133. I think it was a 3-pointer right at the end, I believe. Very close match. They're going to be able to take it and make it 2-2. Other than that, thank you again. Cademan, good to see you as usual.
Thank you.
Next time of the one and only Roto Hackers podcast, and we're gonna have that intro video, right, Cademan?
We are.
Right?